I wasn't gonna make this video until I finished the series and I saw how awful some of these people were, and I thought that it was my duty to share it with you. If you don't know what Selling the OC is, it's basically Selling Sunset, except for instead of taking place in Los Angeles, it takes place in Orange County. And if you don't know what Selling Sunset is, count your blessings. It's basically a reality show about realtors in California selling houses, except maybe about 10 to 15% of it is selling houses, and the other 85 to 90% is drama, unnecessary drama.
I don't like two-faced people, and I'm not saying you are two-faced, but it's going that direction, and I was like, oh wow.
Both the teams of Selling Sunset and Selling the OC are operated by the Oppenheim Group, who, if you don't know, are these two.
My brother Brett and I have real estate in our blood. In fact, we're the 5th generation in our family to work in Los Angeles real estate. My brokerage, the Oppenheim Group, has had so much success in LA that we're opening up a second office in one of the most affluent parts of California, Orange County.
Jason and Brett pretty much own everyone here and take like 40% of their commission, so they're living the good life, I gotta say that. And if you thought Christine was bad, just wait for this one. We first start off by meeting a guy named Gio, and he acts exactly how his name sounds.
I am the top dog here at the Oppenheim Group. I am a fucking rock star. On a confidence scale from 1 to 10, I'm a fucking 15. I drive an orange Porsche. It's my homage towards Orange County.
This guy basically thinks he's the greatest real estate agent to have ever existed, and I don't think we even see him make one sale this entire season. Or maybe he's like listed as a secondary agent on one, but bro. We then start off by meeting Alex Hall, who I would equate to being the Christine of the show.
Okay. No millionaire clients, only the billionaire clients.
At first you think she's a friend, but very quickly you find out she's not. Next we have Polly, who's this British girl. If you're looking for someone to play the victim card in literally any argument, you found your person. Kayla, she is brand new to the real estate game and she gets her first listing this season and she decides to enlist Alex Hall for some help. That was a mistake. Then we meet Brandy and we don't really learn much about her either except for the fact that she just follows the herd. Wherever there are more people, she will be there. And next we have our two actual main characters, Alexandra Rose and Alexandra Jarvis. Yeah, there's a lot of Alexes here.
There's a lot of Alexandras in the office. We're over fucking populated, but I go by Alex. So the only person who calls me by my full name is my mother.
Next we have Tyler, and I would say he's probably the most featured guy on the show. He's married to the girl from Pitch Perfect, and it plays a pretty significant role in this series, contrary to popular belief. From the first episode, we learn that people like Alex Hall and Brandy and Polly just absolutely hate drama.
And I try to like keep to myself because you know, you never want to join a new office and start like making enemies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So for sure, I'm really observant.
They hate instigating things. They hate being mixed up with problematic people. This is the first glimpse that we get into Polly, the British girl.
Why do you hate Jarvis?
Because she's the worst person in the fucking world.
Why do you think she's the worst person?
I hate her.
Why do you hate Alexandra Jarvis? Because she's the worst person in the fucking world. Why? Because she gets more sales than me. From the beginning of the series, we learn that Rose and Jarvis are two of the top selling agents at the Oppenheim Group, besides Gio, I guess. Still not sure about him.
Rose and I are the top producing female agents in the office. We make a good impression, and it's kind of hard for a client to say no to the both of us.
And somehow, some way, all the other real estate agents hate them for it. They will come up with excuses as to why they hate them.
You don't look at me in the face when I'm in the office.
But yet the reason that they're mad at them is because they are selling double-digit million-dollar homes. From the beginning, we see newcomer Kayla immediately bond with Polly, Brandy, and Alex Hall. I would describe Polly, Alex Hall, and Brandy as the mean girls. They do a really good job at systematically isolating each person in the Oppenheim Group turn by turn. We learn that most of the women don't like Alexandra Rose and Alexandra Jarvis, and they can never really pinpoint a reason why. Early on, one of these girls starts spreading a rumor that the only reason Alexandra Rose is getting these listings and successfully selling these homes is because she sleeps with her clients. Now, I do have to say that there is no actual evidence of this. The rumor is brought up multiple times, yet we never ever see Rose doing anything suspicious with any clients, and nothing is ever implied like that. It's literally just a rumor.
Hey, how are you guys? Good, how are you?
Hey baby, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You're late.
Look, I see you. Hey, Justin. How are you? Got a bad taste in my mouth.
You may wonder why I don't speak to you anymore, why I unfollowed you on Instagram, because I felt like you have this superiority about yourself.
No, not at all.
Do you think that we belong here?
Of course, you guys are amazing.
Jarvis is very neutral throughout this. She spends almost the entire season trying to find out why they don't like her and trying to make amends, yet they won't even listen to her say a word.
From where I'm sitting, the only hostile people in the office are you guys. You know?
How am I hostile?
99% of the time, you don't look at me in the face when I'm in the office. You don't speak to me.
So shut the fuck up and
listen to everybody.
And I get it, people have differences sometimes. I'm not saying everyone has to be friends just because they work together, but these women, aka Brandy, Alex Hall, and Polly, have a very regular pattern. From the beginning, we see Kayla form a strong bond with Alex, Polly, and Brandy. However, this doesn't last. And this next part is never even shown on camera, but it becomes a really heavy topic of discussion. Apparently, one night at a party, Kayla got a little bit too drunk and tried kissing Tyler. Yeah, the guy who's married to the Pitch Perfect girl. So that's messed up. That's not okay. However, Kayla admits to getting a little bit too drunk that night. She apologizes to Tyler. They squash their beef. It's in the past. She owned up to her mistakes, and we should move on as humans.
I guess I tried to kiss you or something, and I'm really, really sorry. And I want you to know that you will never be put in that type of situation again. And I really am so sorry for doing that.
However, there's an issue. And no, it's not with Tyler's wife, who should be the only person really having an issue with this. It's Polly and Alex and Brandy too. They all insist, no, demand an apology from Kayla. They even get lunch with the rest of the realtors and end up just talking crap about Kayla so much in episode 5. And this is really shocking as a viewer because for the first 4 episodes, I thought they were best friends.
I'm so fucking offended by Kayla's behavior last night.
What happened?
Alex, Brandy, and Polly have no reason to be mad at Kayla for this. It doesn't affect them at all. Yet somehow they are the victim, specifically Polly.
It's so triggering for me. You know, obviously my marriage ended by third parties coming in, and it's like
very sensitive to you.
And if there's something that you should know about Polly, the British girl, it's that she got cheated on in a previous marriage. So when she even hears about Kayla and Tyler potentially having a moment, it triggers her, which I want to say is understandable, but not really. Somehow Polly became the victim in this entire mess when it literally had nothing to do with her.
The issue that I have is you not pulling me aside and telling me that you have a problem with me.
I am really tired of Kayla being the victim, and it's always poor her.
And this basically causes Alex and Polly and Brandy to ice out Kayla.
Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna one by one go to each person in the office and try to like redeem yourself?
There's no redemption here, sweetheart.
Even after they demanded an apology and Kayla gave it to them, they still didn't accept the apology.
It's done. It's over with. I will apologize to Tyler, but moving forward, I would appreciate if you girls just stop talking about it.
Kayla, it's not always about you, babe.
I think you're just dealing with this like in a very different way to how we thought you would deal with it. Like, I'm not quite sure how.
All you're worried about right now is yourself. You've put me and Polly and other people in this office in very uncomfortable situations, not just Tyler.
So what does Kayla do? She goes to the 2 realest people at the office, aka Jarvis and Rose.
The other day, Alex Hall, Polly, and now Brandy, I thought me and Brandy were fine. We were in the office and they all were just like, I don't want to sound like the victim, so I'm not going to say I felt like they're attacking me, but
it's your feelings.
Just say it. Like, Polly wanted an apology.
Polly wanted an apology.
Does she think she's married to Tyler?
And Jarvis and Rose, being the understanding, respectful people that they are, decide to comfort Kayla and give her some reassurance and to not take what the other girls say to heart. This is where it gets frustrating. The problem with Kayla is, even though she acknowledged her mistakes and has hopefully learned what type of people Alex, Polly, and Brandy are, she is dying to be in their good graces. I mean, she bends over backwards to make these women like her again.
I'm horrified. Absolutely horrified. Trust me, I'm more than embarrassed.
Because it doesn't seem like you're sorry for what you did. It seems like you're sorry because people found out. You're like, oh my God, my dirty laundry got fucking put in the wind and now everybody knows.
Like the dirty little secret, I'm sorry.
It then gets really uncomfortable when Alex decides to be very passive-aggressive to Kayla during a group meeting and essentially take out her anger about the Tyler situation on a home that they're listing together. And Jarvis, being the only respectable person besides Rose, decides to stand up for Kayla being berated in front of the whole team. Alex Hall just shuts down, literally.
Alex Hall, you're not gonna listen? Okay.
Wow.
Your voice is annoying me.
They are in a professional environment. Despite your feelings towards your coworkers, aka Kayla, there is no reason that you should be saying these types of things in front of your boss and your coworkers. So about 1 episode later, Brandy, Alex, and Polly get bored again and they decide to forgive Kayla, finally. For some reason, they just have a change of heart and basically decide to move on and shift their anger from Kayla back to Jarvis and Rose, the true villains, because they're selling more homes. And this gets really uncomfortable when Gio, one of the real estate agents, is hosting a party and these girls, aka Brandy, Alex, and Paulie are all talking about Jarvis and Rose right in front of their face.
I felt a way about you, Alex, at first because you always were defending Rose. And I would be like, I'm sitting here telling you about how ridiculous she is and you're always defending her.
Talking about what? Talking about Rose and defending? Hold on. Alexandra, here, I need to give her champagne.
It's some of the most classless behavior I've ever seen. Grown women actively, invisibly bullying these two other real estate agents and trying to act cool about it. It's just giving high school bully energy to me, and I don't know how they can get away with it. And I don't know how no one else sees it. And I think the worst part of the entire series is when Paulie is going off on a tangent about how much she hates Alexandra Jarvis at Gio's party, and Paulie calls Jarvis a bitch in front of Jarvis's husband.
The most condescending, stuck-up bitch ever. Sorry, I know that you're gonna marry her. Hats off to you. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
Why do you think that's okay? I would understand if Jarvis was actively like terrorizing this woman, but nothing is happening. We never get a valid reason for why Paulie feels the way that she feels. And it's one thing to feel something, but her actions need to be controlled.
Don't honey me.
And for some reason, Alex Hall thinks she has the audacity to call them bullies.
You guys are like just going around and rubbing your stink on everything in the office. You're the like bullies. And yet
We're
you're
the
sitting here
bullies?
telling
Literally, this took place 5 seconds after Jarvis and Rose caught them talking shit about them.
I'm sitting here telling you about how ridiculous she is and you're always defending her.
Talking about what?
How are they the bullies? You're the ones that are actively berating them at a public party in front of everyone, yet they're the bullies? And it reaches a boiling point in the season finale when they all have a yacht party to celebrate their successes. Even though Kayla at this point is in good graces with Alex and the rest of the crew, she decides to vent a little bit when she sees Paulie and Tyler getting really close together on the yacht, which is understandable. The whole issue with Kayla started because she was flirting with Tyler and tried to kiss him. Yet when Paulie does the exact same thing with Tyler on the yacht, no one says anything. It's like normalized.
So hypocritical.
Imagine if I went over there.
Oh my god, it would be just. Oh my god.
Imagine.
Kayla, instead of admitting how she feels, decides to shut down and suck up to Alex as she's been doing.
She came to us and told us that she was hurt because she felt iced out by you guys. Kayla did.
She's been iced out for what?
From them because of what transpired.
That's the only thing about Kayla that I don't like, is that she cannot stand up for herself. She gets mistreated and abused by Alex and Paulie and Brandy, and the only people that we see actually standing up for Kayla are Rose and Jarvis, and it really does come back to bite them in the butt. Literally every real estate agent in the entire group ends up hating Rose and Jarvis because they're instigators, even though they're the ones trying to like squash the drama that they didn't even start. We close off with Jarvis and Rose closing a $20 million deal. Round of applause for Rose and Jarvis.
Rose and Jarvis just sold their Dolphin Terrace listing for $20 million today.
They are savages. They deserve the world because they are the two best real estate agents at the Oppenheim Group. No cap. And look at the other real estate agents' reactions when they find out they sell the $20 million home.
Go ring the bell.
How are you going to be so bitter that people that are working in your brokerage are successful? I have a feeling that Paulie, Alex Hall, and Brandy would not have an issue with Jarvis and Rose if it wasn't for their success. And if you don't believe anything that I've said, Alex Hall has turned off her Instagram comments from all the hate that she's been getting for being a bully. Even Paulie's getting some negativity, and yet Rose and Jarvis are the only people who are receiving positivity on social media after the show has aired, even though the show tried so hard to make them look like the bullies. Overall, the show is 90% drama, 10% house sales, and everyone needs to take a chill pill. So that was Selling the OC, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to watch it and see for yourself, I recommend you do so because it's kind of entertaining, not gonna lie.